Hi, y'all. It's Jenny again. This time I've got, I just wanted to read to you something from Reddit again. The Empress is allowing me to surf the internet. So just want to read you some stuff that I'm seeing on Reddit. I think you would be interested in. And basically, this is from a newspaper article that someone posted, and it's just really good. It says a postmortem detected a deadly bug in the lung of baby whom Lucy Letby was convicted of murdering. During Letby's trial, the jury was told by prosecutor Nick Johnson, KC, that a testing for a battery of viruses, multiphilia is a bacteria. So would this be considered lying by omission? Anyhow, let me read this to you again. During Letby's trial, the jury was told by prosecutor Nick Johnson, KC, that testing for a battery of viruses, the baby, named only as Baby I, was negative. Jurors did not hear that the bacteria Stenotrophomonas multifida had been picked up by the coroner. A tissue sample collected by Baby I's right bronchus 3 days after her death came back positive for the bacteria, according to test results reviewed by the Telegraph. The postmortem report does not mention the positive test result. Baby I's postmortem report concluded that cultured bacteria was the result of spreading or contamination in the postmortem examination, but it is unclear if the positive test for it was included as part of the assessment. Routine tests had detected the deadly bug in Baby I when she was still alive, but it did not trigger any alert or thought processes among the medical staff that it could be pathogenic. According to the panel's report, which was obtained by the Telegraph, this was likely a preventable death, Dr. Lee added. At Letby's trial, Sandy Bowen, a prosecution, admitted she had never heard of S. multifida, which was first detected in the baby 6 weeks before her death. The bacterium was found in the swab test taken from Baby A's throat and rectum after her health deteriorated, and she was briefly transferred to Liverpool Women's Hospital for more specialized care. The hospital also found Enterobacter and Staph aureus, most commonly known as staph, during her day. Dr. Lucy BEE, I think she was a trainee at the time. Another prosecution witness also admitted not knowing anything about it, despite having noted during a medical examination that Baby I had colonized with it. Hospital records also show that Liverpool Women's Hospital and infection control specialists at the Countess of Chester provided incorrect information about S. multifida to the nurses caring for Baby I. Okay, now here's some of the comments, which is really good, and I think it's defending one of the trainees that I think we should need to take note. Now, again, I am been ragging on Hawkness or Register, but actually there were some good trainees that gave some good witness statements and stuff at the trial, and I'm going to read them to you here. So what's with BB's comments and the incorrect info to the nurses? Question mark. Is it just that BB could see the positive test results and noted it, but didn't know what they implied? Or that she later claimed that the baby didn't have the virus as she wasn't aware of the infection at all? Okay, so someone is saying here, and it's true, Dr. BB, it was just a trainee GP. Again, very special, but they got to know everything. Okay, they're not pediatric path. So she was just a trainee GP at the time, so I'm not sure she deserves criticism here. And I think I'm going to agree with this poster. I would have thought the consultant in charge of Baby I, or whoever was primarily responsible for infection control, would be more implicated here. Yeah. I thought that she came across quite well in her statements at Thorough, and she seemed to be trying to undermine the sensationalism in press reports of her evidence at the trial. So here's what she said. I had examined Child I on a number of occasions. I was not present when Child I died on October 23rd, 2015. In my police statement, I state that I remember it being odd that she kept on getting unwell. As I have said previously, I wondered whether we missed something that she had been born with, like a metabolic condition, to explain why she kept on collapsing. I remember being quite frustrated that she could go out to other hospitals and then in a few days she would come back better, but with no answers. I felt upset when she died because we hadn't got to the bottom of it. Again, what is she saying? I wondered whether we missed something. What a perfect statement by a trainee. And then again, something else that she said, during my evidence at the criminal trial, and I guess this is a Thirlwall thing, on January 27, 2023, I commented that my reaction to Child A's death was one of shock and frustration. Although I stated I was shocked at Child A's death, it was not because I thought somebody had intentionally harmed her. As a doctor, you spend your entire career trying to help and heal patients. It is almost unthinkable that a doctor or a nurse could intentionally murder patients. I was not aware of the underlying concern regarding Letby. So to me, I was more concerned that the baby had an unusual diagnosis that had not been found in time. I remember being shocked about Child A's death because I was not expecting her to die. Despite her recurrent medical emergencies, I remember she had been doing well and thought she had come to a stage where she was likely to be discharged home to her family in the future. I do not recall when or how I came to learn of Child A's death. I was not aware of any continuing discussions between members of staff about Child A's death. I did not attend the debrief meeting in respect to Child A on November 9th, 2015. In the final page of my police statement, I state that my only memory of the person arrested is seeing her in a side room crying on an occasional saying, "It's always me when it happens." It wasn't the main, so now the commentator is saying, or it wasn't the main ITU room, it was the first high dependency unit room, which is probably room 2. But I can't even say it was after Child A died or if it was in relation to another incident because there was a number. We all have times when we're involved in really awful diagnoses, and we all have times like that. So I really didn't think anything of it then, and to be perfectly honest, it was perfectly a normal reaction looking back even now. Wow, Dr. Beebe, if you're watching, I bet you're a wonderful GP. Thank you. Thank you for not throwing Lucy under the bus. You could have done it at the trial to save yourself and at Thirlwall, but you didn't. You didn't take the bait. So bless you. And you are like 99% of those physicians out there. And we as nurses, we know that things aren't looking good for physicians. And we know that there's a nurse taking down a doctor. But you know what? When I do that, I have to remember, and I have to remember, yes, there was a few asshole doctors out there. Absolutely. They didn't deserve the title of doctor in front of their name. But you know what? 99% of them are wonderful. And I have to keep reminding myself that. And I can't, and I think we as nurses shouldn't gloat, because I think Florence Nightingale, and I think Lucy probably too, would not say, no, let's not gloat. Yeah, let's gloat. The fact that happy that she's taken out Brewery Jerram and Sandy Bowen, Dewey, all the other ones, Hawkness, all the other ones that were so nasty and don't deserve the title or the recognition of doctor. But I think Lucy would say that physicians, it's a wonderful profession, and we have to remember how many doctors came out swinging for her and weren't paid. They weren't paid at all. And how many on the prosecution side were paid? And yet, the ones that swung the hardest and came out the hardest were the physicians for her and for us. And they did it as much for her as they did for all of us. So again, we have to remember, and I have to remember the person that saved my daughter's life, and delivered her and made sure I damn well made sure I got my antibiotics was a physician. He who handed my daughter off to a physician, who did everything he needed to do during that golden hour, both life-saving, intubating, and making sure that she got the antibiotics and transferred. The person that transferred my daughter to a wonderful children's hospital was a physician. The man that ran the unit was a physician. Those wonderful trainees that took wonderful care of her were a physician. The man that did wonderful surgery on me, and trust me, oh God, I went from being just an awful, just miserable for almost a decade, was a physician. The man that referred him to me was a physician. That woman that I've had to fire many of my GPs because I wasn't getting good care and I was just being turfed off. That woman is a physician. And I'm proud to say she's probably around Lucy's age now, and she's young. I make sure all my doctors now, I'm making sure they're a hell of a lot younger than me because I want them to outlive me. And all of them now respect nurses. All of them, again, look at us as colleagues, and they're nothing like Sandy Bowen. What a bitch. You didn't know what S. multifida was? What? You can't do a Google search? What a bitch. I'm so glad Mark McDonald took you out in Guernsey. And I hope, don't you ever put the title of doctor in front of your name. You don't deserve it. The person that is, the people that have come out fighting, someone like Nina Modi, what a wonderful human being. What a wonderful female physician that has done everything she can. She even tried to, she contact everyone during the trial to say, what can I do to help? Nina, thank you. Dr. Nina Modi, bless you. Sending my love from across the pond, giving you a hillbilly yell. Bye-bye.